Official public statement from the creator of Scope 3, issued by developer identity, Mr. Smith and Top. Let's set the record straight. The group operating under the name Scope X has been heavily influenced by Matt and his company. What began as mimicry has escalated into deliberate misrepresentation and confusion. Scope X is now attempting to posture with legal threats against major platforms and publishers, falsely claiming they have legal standing to challenge bans and restore access to tools that were removed for violating platform policy. This belief is legally baseless and entirely disconnected from the way software licensing works. When a user installs or accesses a game, they are not purchasing the game itself. They are receiving a limited, revocable license governed by the platform's Terms of Service, TOS, and End User License Agreement, EULA. These are binding contracts. If a user or tool violates these agreements by introducing unauthorized behavior, disrupting fair use, or tampering with platform security, publishers are fully within their rights to revoke access permanently and without refund. This is not a loophole. It is settled legal precedent. Access to digital software is a conditional privilege, and developers and platforms have complete discretion in granting or removing it. Scope X's attempts to deny or dismiss the legal authority of these agreements, while misleading users into thinking they can challenge them in court, is irresponsible, misleading, and untrue. Scope X infringed my original work. This is the critical and factual point I need to make absolutely clear. Scope X infringed my original work. The product they released closely mirrored the visual structure, functionality, and technical flow of Scope 3, the original application I spent years building, while they rebranded their version under a different name. The underlying framework was unmistakably derived from my own. This resulted in widespread confusion among users, developers, and platform moderators, many of whom mistakenly believed Scope X was either an official continuation or an authorized variant of my work. It is not. Beyond confusion, Scope X's release actively violated both platform terms of service and copyright law. By taking my original work and distributing it under a new name, they not only infringed on my intellectual property, but also introduced non-compliant functionality that breached the policies of the very platforms they attempted to release on. These violations led to enforcement actions and complete removal from both Steam and Epic Games. The result? Users were banned, applications were taken down, and the damage fell squarely on my shoulders. Despite not being involved in Scope X's release, I was left to repair the fallout, rebuilding user trust, clarifying the truth to platforms, and defending the integrity of Scope 3. And yet, despite these facts, Scope X continues to operate as if nothing is wrong. They continue to dismiss legal reality as if terms of service and end-user license agreements don't apply simply because they were accepted. This level of denial is staggering, like standing in a burning room and pretending the fire isn't real. They are not just ignoring the consequences of their actions. They're digging themselves deeper by making legally groundless accusations toward platforms fully within their rights. While they posture, I continue to defend my original work, not just in word, but with the legal authority that confirms what occurred. Scope X infringed my copyrighted material, broke platform policies, and was removed as a direct result, and I will continue to stand for what I built. Clarifying the facts, I am the original creator of Scope 3. Scope 3 was developed solely under my direction, not as a fork, not as a team project, and not with the involvement of Scope X. It was designed with intention and clarity to fill a real accessibility gap for players suffering from eye strain, posture-related fatigue, and hardware limitations. I developed it from scratch as a unique contribution to the gaming community under my identity as Mr. Smith and Top. Scope X infringed my original work. Their release reused my core design, structure, and visual behavior without my authorization. It did not evolve from Scope 3, it hijacked it. That infringement is the basis for their removal from both Steam and Epic Games, and it continues to be the focus of ongoing takedown actions. Scope 3 was built to comply with all relevant terms of service. From day one, I prioritize compliance with game developers' policies and platform guidelines. Scope 3 does not interfere with rendering, networking, or gameplay systems. It does not inject, cheat, or tamper. It simply magnifies what is already visible, with fairness baked into every feature. Scope X introduced code and behavior that violated platform rules. They took a tool meant to help people and turned it into a liability. Their version crossed platform boundaries, which led to bans and removals. The visual similarity caused further confusion, leading to misattributed blame against Scope 3 and myself. I took responsibility for correcting the confusion they caused. Despite having no connection to their release, I stepped forward to clean up their mess. I submitted DMCA claims. I reached out to platforms. I clarified everything publicly and privately to repair the damage done to my users and my name. Scope X continues to misrepresent their legitimacy. They claim to be an alternative, a continuation, or a worthy peer. They are not. They are an unlicensed, harmful imitation that misleads users and undermines developers. While I continue to uphold the work I've done the right way from the start. What I told developers directly. The following message was sent to FacePunch Studios to ensure clarity, transparency, and full developer cooperation. I include it here for public reference, with one redaction for legal safety. Dear FacePunch Studios team, my name is Mr. Smithentop, developer of Scope 3 on Steam. I'm reaching out to you personally to ensure complete transparency regarding Scope 3 and to protect the integrity of your game, Rust. I have a deep respect for developers like you, and I strive to ensure that my work never steps on anyone's toes. I believe that healthy communication with developers is essential, and that's why I'm coming to you directly, to offer full cooperation and clarity. First, I would like to emphasize, Scope 3 was my original idea. I was the first to envision the concept of an accessibility-focused magnification tool, purpose-built for gaming, designed specifically to help players who experience eye strain, neck fatigue, or limitations due to monitor hardware, resolution, or other challenges. Scope 3 is not a copy of another tool. It is the first of its kind, developed thoughtfully and carefully from the ground up. Scope 3's design is not random or careless. Every update, every feature is intentional. We put great care into ensuring that no Scope 3 user has an advantage over another. All users operate on the same standardized magnification levels, 1x, 2x, and 3x, with extremely limited customization options. This ensures that using Scope 3 remains fair, consistent, and not exploitable. Whether a user is a casual player or a competitive athlete, the settings they use will mimic exactly what another Scope 3 user would have available, preserving balance. Much thought has also gone into accommodating hardware differences between players. Different users have different monitor resolutions, mouse DPI settings, and field of view preferences, particularly with modern ultra-wide displays. Players who love their expansive FOV and first-person shooters often suffer when aiming down sights, causing the target to become extremely small and difficult to see. Scope 3 provides a buffer, allowing players to maintain their preferred visual settings without sacrificing comfort and without gaining hidden information. It simply magnifies what's already on the screen. As an esports athlete myself, I want to give you a unique perspective. In professional esports, it is very common for players to physically push their faces closer to the screen to scan for enemy targets more precisely. This absolutely provided a competitive advantage, and it is a widely known, widely taught practice in high-level competitive gaming. When I was training, my esports coaches even taught me specific neck movements to scan from left to right across the screen, pixel by pixel, to maximize target acquisition. While this technique worked, it came at a heavy cost. Over the years, it caused me real, lasting eye damage and neck problems that I still suffer from today. Scope 3 was born from that experience, not to create an unfair edge, but to allow players to achieve visual clarity without the physical harm that competitive players have quietly endured for decades. I fully understand that Scope 3 might look like an advantage to someone unfamiliar with the under-the-hood realities of esports. However, the truth is simple. Anyone can replicate what Scope 3 does manually by moving their face closer to the monitor. Scope 3 just saves their eyes and spine from long-term damage. Importantly, Scope 3 does not change the actual image. We do not re-render the graphics. We do not enhance the textures. We do not sharpen images or reveal hidden details. We simply magnify the already existing pixels. And just like when you lean closer manually, the image will naturally appear more pixelated, not clearer. In other words, Scope 3 doesn't show players anything they couldn't already physically see. It just makes it easier without forcing harmful posture. I also understand that Scope 3 might seem alien at first to people who have never experienced the competitive demands esports athletes deal with. That's why I originally introduced Scope 3 very carefully, without aggressive marketing, letting it slowly integrate into the gaming space. Unfortunately, the irresponsible actions of ScopeX, a bad faith copycat, have forced me to bring Scope 3 into public view faster than I intended. To be clear, Scope 3 is a legitimate, respectful tool designed to help players. ScopeX is an irresponsible clone that has misrepresented the purpose behind my work. Videos like this one mislead viewers into thinking Scope 3 is a cheating tool, when in fact it is ScopeX's mishandling that is causing confusion. I have actively defended Scope 3's integrity through copyright DMCA claims and misrepresentation actions against ScopeX. So far, I have successfully removed ScopeX materials from Steam and Epic Games. I share this only to show that I am committed to doing the right thing, fighting bad actors, and protecting the legitimacy of Scope 3. This is a good product made by someone with good intentions, standing against those trying to exploit it. To further protect your community, I am willing to offer full cooperation with FacePunch. I can provide full technical documentation on Scope 3's operation if you wish to review it. I am ready to implement a special rule set that automatically disables or restricts Scope 3's features when Rust is running, if you feel that would best maintain the fairness of your environment. I am open to ongoing dialogue, updates, or any actions you request to ensure Scope 3 supports your standards, not conflicts with them. Disclaimer: Scope 3's magnification is no different from physically leaning closer to your monitor. It does not reveal hidden information, penetrate fog of war, or alter game behavior in any way. It simply enlarges the pixels already visible on the screen, helping players without granting unfair gameplay advantages. I genuinely appreciate you taking the time to hear my side. I have great admiration for what you have built with Rust, and my goal is to contribute positively to the gaming world, not disrupt it. If there is anything I can do to assist or to earn your trust, I am fully at your service. Thank you again for your time, your hard work, and for considering this message. Issued by Developer Identity, Mr. Smithentop, creator of Scope 3.